Hello everyone, I'm Suprit Singh. For the summer, I was enrolled in ASC 3357, also known as OJT or Industry Practice. I had my on-the-job training at Hill Flight Support LLC, located in Chatsworth, California, United States, from June 3 to July 28 with a total of 304 work hours. I'm recording this video to summarize the nature of my job training. I'll add my reflection of the training and my supervisor's evaluation as well. After that, I'll add a compilation of actual videos or photos demonstrating my work and duties on the training. Before proceeding, I want to mention that Hill Flight Support LLC is an aerospace defense company that works with US government and numerous other countries' governments. They have intellectual property like certain drawings and demonstrations that are not supposed to be recorded or shared outside the firm. I was made aware of that on the first day, and all the content or photos, videos in this video are authorized to use by my supervisor. On this note, let's get started. First, I learned how to 3D model different parts in SolidWorks software using engineering drawings and actual parts. Next, I was viewing and understanding specific legends in engineering drawings and determining the dimensions of raw materials required for the final product. I also learned how to use a lathe machine for machining certain parts. I was also instructed how to do metal stamping, and I also assisted one of the employees in doing the metal stamping. Next up was how to use an impact drill for opening big bolts. I was also instructed how to use a big drill, and then I tried myself and opened some bolts from big assemblies. Next up was how to use a belt sander. I was instructed on how to cut parts and sand them using the belt sander, and I performed them as I was told. I was given a task of reverse engineering a mechanical assembly, and I had to take it apart, label all the parts, and properly box them and place them in the inventory. After that, I was also assisting and performing operation and pressure tests on assemblies, and lastly preparing test reports for those tests. Next, I had to read and highlight some important parts in a military contract with Boeing. So I read it out, wrote all the technical parts, and then reported it to my supervisor. Next up was researching on different aerospace markets for possible orders, and that was for Japanese government. I had to look for the platforms and report it to my supervisor as well. Next up was learning about different types of certifications in the aerospace industry. So I spent, I think, around a week or a week and a half doing the ISO updates and updating the certifications for the company from different orders they had in the past year. I was also assisting with inventory management by locating items in the inventory and learning about the basics of Pentagon software. Additionally, I was also assisting the warehouse manager in updating the inventory location data because there was some confusion because of recent relocation of some parts. My reflection at the end of the internship is that I got to learn about numerous different jobs and tasks in the aviation industry, which opened my mind, prepared me to start working as I finish my studies, and will greatly help me decide where I want to be in the future. On my supervisor's evaluation, I was given an excellent rating on my overall performance by my supervisor. And a general comment that he gave was, "James is extremely inquisitive and has many separate goals and life plans, which is inherently a good thing, but I challenge James to focus on one or two things that will accomplish his final goal." On the first day at work, I was introduced to employees, and I was given a task of outlining a Boeing contract, and I was shown around the warehouse. This is a video demonstration of me learning how to use an impact drill and opening big bolts on the axle assembly that was being tested in the warehouse.
Moving. Are you sure it should be on the right? On the right? On the arm?
Forward.
Go. Go ahead, pull it up. Alright, hold on. Put this back in. Alright. Turn it on. Turn it in the air. Turn it on. A little. Turn it on.
On.
Turn it on. You see? Hit it.
Oh, you're tightening it.
Tiny.
That's why.
Before.
All right, homies, let's do it.
Hold on.
I was given the special task of reverse engineering an old CSD, constant speed drive, from F-16 aircraft. I had to take it apart, all the major assemblies, and then label them accordingly. A document that shows different assemblies inside a part with demonstrations and with images. So I had to use different tools, take it apart, and then take out all the major parts from inside, and then label them accordingly using the document I was given. This video shows me arranging all the parts from the constant speed drive and trying to label them, trying to identify them and label them. So I had to put all the major assemblies inside bags and then label the part numbers and their description along with the quantity. And I had to put all of that inside a big box and place them inside the inventory and log that location in the Pentagon software. This is a video showing me modifying some resistors that were required by an order. So I was given with big attachments on the sides of resistors. I had to cut those attachments precisely and then sand them to make sure that the dimensions match the requirement of an assembly that we had an order for. So I had to cut them using a clipper and then sand them using a belt sander, which is demonstrated in the video. In this video, I was taught by the head machinist at Heavy Flight on how to use a lathe machine, doing basic operation, and then what are the most useful techniques in machining a part on lathe machine in aviation or aerospace industry.
We're not going to press on that part, so I'm going to leave it alone. Remember I was stopping there? Now I'm going to go to 90 and then bring it out. I'm doing it by hand because I don't want to switch the machine. One thing I don't like about this machine is that to change the direction of the feed, to go in the direction you want, you have to stop the machine and you have to switch the lever over there. You're going into the chuck like this, and then all you do is you switch. You hit one switch, and then it comes this way. Like see on this one here, if you go up, it goes this way, and then if you go down, it's supposed to. See, this one's backwards. It goes in this way, and then if you hit down, it'll go in. If you switch this over, then it should go in and this way. And but see, it's backwards on this machine, and that's what I don't like about it. Because every time you have to, if I wanted the machine to go like this with power feed, then I have to go this way, and then I got to stop, and I got to shut the machine down, and then I have to switch that over there, and then I have to come back, and then I can hit the switch and make it travel out this way. I have to change the angle of the cutter so it doesn't hit right here. This is for putting an angle. But if you're doing threading, you if you run a cut and bring it back, you can't run this in here. You have to run it in here, and you have to be at 29 to 30 degrees because because the machine. If you run the thread like this and you bring it back, you can't go in like again. You have to go like this. When you run a cut and the thread goes in like that, and then you bring it back, and then you have to make it like this. And then you have to bring it like that. Yeah.
I was instructed how to do the metal stamping properly, and after that I learned, and then I did 2 or 3 parts by myself. So basically I'm securing the part here and then picking up the stamps and then stamping them with a hammer, and then in the coming pictures you will see the result of my stamping. The first part was a little bit off, and it was still acceptable, and they were quite aware of that. And then on the second and third parts I got really well, and then the results were really good. This video demonstrates me 3D modeling a component that I was assigned. Actually, I modeled 3 or 4 different components that were most in use or that were ordered the most, and they had to get it machined every time using the drawings whenever they had an order. So it was way more efficient for them to have it 3D modeled and maybe 3D printed as well, so they could inspect if the 3D model comes out fine and every dimension is accurate, so that next time there is an order for that material or that component, they could have it manufactured using the 3D model, which saves a lot of time and a lot of money as well. So in this picture you're gonna see the actual 3D printed part.